Hey guys, welcome to the Rock and Road Show. So this is what's going on. A couple of years ago now, I went on Car Gurus that's supposed to have a fucking warranty. And after a lot of phone calls and games, they didn't do shit about it. I ended up buying this truck above Blue Book price and paying off someone's USAA military loan. Those pieces of information that I'm telling you now did not come out of their mouth until after I had already paid quite a bit of money, which they gave to the bank. So I was already in the fucking rabbit hole. I haven't had a lot of chances to talk about this and do shows on this and try to keep you up. I did a couple of shows. If you scroll backwards to my very first shows, you will see I gave live shows as stuff unraveled in unbelievable fucking piles and tens of thousands of dollars of their criminal activities and bullshit. I did call the police on them several times. The cops in Texas don't do a fucking thing about anybody for anything, unless, I don't know, they just don't personally like you. So it ended up that they kept this covered. I don't know if you can see it in this light I'm trying to show you. There's a fucking name across the whole entire hood of the truck with a star. Now granted, the star's got its horns pointed down instead of up, but no matter how you shake, rattle, and roll, there's still a whole word up there. And what it says is Texas relocation, and it looks like now it says experts. Yeah, and it took me forever with Crest toothpaste to try to scrub this shit off, because here's what happened. I think that they bought the truck with the sticker on it, pulled the sticker off, and then just left the sticky glue there. And the Texas Sun baked the star and the words across the hood. They got ready to sell me the truck, of course. They kept that fucking covered up. Yeah, because if you have this hood shut and you just walk around the truck like you're some showroom dealer and you're not tall, you don't see that it says Texas relocation experts across the whole entire hood of the truck. And I spent tremendous amounts of hours with Crest toothpaste scrubbing it off by hand, because I had little samples I did of maybe 20 different items, and Crest toothpaste was the best to try to get it off of there. It's fucking horrendous, and it keeps me from being able to resell the truck, because nobody wants that shit. That's why they kept it covered up. Alrighty then. So, piece of shit Shelby Turner, and she has several different last names, and this piece of shit Sean Turner from Fort Hood, Texas, that claimed he was a medic and he was still in one of the CAV units. He claimed a lot of shit. I never saw any proof to any of that. They saw my military ID, they saw me pay money, they saw me transfer a lot of money, almost $20,000 into their USAA bank account. Yeah. And they saw me make an itinerary and show up to pick up the truck. So I wasn't the person that didn't have anything to show. I had plenty. I later on found out that I think they purposely picked me because I was already older. I had told them I had cancer. I had to be back in the fucking hospital in 2 weeks. They kept telling me that was going to be no problem, no problem, no problem. I even asked them if I needed to bring my tools, and they said no. I said, okay. They said it would go back, no problem, no problem, no problem. Well, the whole entire front end was shot so bad you couldn't drive it over 25 miles per hour. It shook real bad because the entire, my first estimate from AMCO was $6,000 just to get it on the road and get it to fucking stop and go down the road. They had busted the entire fucking steer box. And they had, because the steer box was busted, it busted everything else up the drivetrain to the steering wheel, and it had no brakes. Now, Kitty Poo, the piece of shit Sean Turner that was talking to me after I purchased the truck. He told me he thought he just damaged this one tire on one side. Yeah. And he tried to tell me it was a rotor. I was like, well, rotors don't just get damaged out of the fucking blue. Either you got it too hot doing something stupid, or you know that you purposely damaged the rotor. So just tell me, because I have to drive over 1,000 miles, 10,000 feet up to the Rocky Mountains, because that's where I live. They didn't do that. They played so many fucking games and lied about so much goddamn shit. That's why I'm still telling you now to this day. I still don't know if they were married or not. They were never around, and they were very strange. When I got the truck, every single headlight was smashed out. All of them. Every light. When I got the truck, these are the original KCs up here. None of them worked right because somebody had been down inside the original fuse box and fucked it way up, including not putting in a special fuse at all for the KC lights. They just ran the KC lights directly off the fucking battery. Oh shit! Fire hazard, and you're not supposed to do that at all anyhow. That's all been changed. That cost me a fortune, and the truck still doesn't want to start. The battery still drains and drains. I have to start it once about every 18 hours or it won't start. It eats batteries like candy. They did not tell me that until after I bought the truck. After I bought the truck, I had to get the alternator replaced because the alternator, I took it to a top-end, high-performance, real expensive shop to charge me out the ass after I had to get a flatbed tow truck because it broke down at a car wash and left me and the dog fucking stranded in over 100-degree fucking heat. And the high-end shop called Chuck's Garage, oh yeah, this is Texas, Chuck's, said it was the worst thing they ever saw in their entire lifetime. They don't even know how I could get the truck to fucking start. And the alternator wouldn't charge up at all, and it was black, like the rest of the engine block. If you look at my other videos I did, the entire engine block was black and filthy and covered in grease. They had completely ruined the BrakeMaster booster back here against the firewall, and it drained and leaked down into the floorboards on the driver's side. So you can't tell me his boots didn't slip and he didn't feel that fucking brake fluid on the fucking floor, even if he was a dumbass fucking piece of shit Texan. It also ran into the main wiring harness that goes to the entire fucking vehicle right in here. I spent hundreds of hours and hundreds of dollars with my cancer-ridden fucking body, and I already have a heart problem in my fucking 60s, at car washes, cleaning and repairing it for weeks and months. And then finally got a piece of rubber hose, sliced it, zip tied that fucking bitch on there, and eventually I got some guy who gave me some special tape and we wrapped that shit up. That cost me a fortune too. That guy made sure he charged me plenty for that shit. Just, yeah. But the whole wiring harness, when I got the truck, if you look at some of my earlier stuff, was actually dangling behind the driver tire and soaked in the brake fluid. That's one reason why the inside of the truck was so black we couldn't see a goddamn thing. One reason. The other reason was, I guess somebody put fluids down into the driver's steering pump here, fluid thing. They didn't even fucking bother to put the fluid actually in the hole. They just put it everywhere. They took it to another piece of shit local shop called Patriot Chevy. And Patriot Chevy was supposed to replace the head gaskets on both sides of the truck. They didn't fucking bother to do that. Yeah. And they were supposed to replace the spark plugs. They didn't fucking bother to do that. How do I know? Because I had to do it in over 100 fucking degrees with fucking cancer and a heart problem in my fucking 60s alongside a goddamn road. I had to buy more tools, just whatever the fuck I could get, because this place is such a shithole. They don't even have a flea market, and they don't even have pawn shops with tools. Unfucking believable, trashy, trailer trash shithole Fort Hood. So I got some of the work done myself, and then I had to pay to get help to get it done. All right, so when they had first initially sold me the truck, there was no fluid in the radiator at all, period whatsoever. That's why the truck made a funny sound after I got it filled the first time with the neighbor's help, because Sean was such a fucking piece of shit. He didn't help me get radiator fluid during the month of August, over 100 degrees in fucking Texas, to put inside the radiator so I could drive it out of his fucking driveway, quote unquote. That's what he said. But the neighbors helped me, so we put it in. We put it in the radiator, and which goes right here, by the way. And it took 2.5 gallons. That guy is still my witness on a witness list. He was a very nice guy in a uniform that actually looked and kept military hours. Yeah. I've even considered the fact that Sean Turner was not even a fucking soldier at the time he did this shit to me, that he was stolen valor. Yeah, pretending to still be in the military. Yeah, that has come up. And so we filled it up 2.5 gallons and went to start it and went because there was no water all the way to the fucking water pump. It had cracked the radiator. I had to get a new radiator with special orders to me, and the fucking dog had to camp the fuck out. Because I didn't know how long it was going to take, and I already knew I wasn't going to make it back to the goddamn motherfucking hospital. And I already knew that I couldn't afford a fucking hotel on top of the shit already. All fucking ready. And that was about $500-600 for the radiator, plus installed to get it in. The first original radiator install guy was this fucking piece of shit on drugs from Texas. He called himself insane mechanic. I thought that was cutesy pie while he was high. He went to hook up the radiator hoses to the back firewall, busted the fucking nipples, and didn't even have the fucking balls to fucking tell me, and left me broke down alongside a goddamn motherfucking road, alongside a fucking road, at a lake, at a park, where people made fun of me later. That's right. Yeah. This is the charminess of Texas. And I had to get another mechanic to straighten up the shit that he left me with. So we still didn't get a hotel. I couldn't see daylight at that point to get past the shit to move on. There were other miscellaneous things that were filthy and unbelievable that we found out. Oil cooler line was leaking. Emeco found that. They found that the cover on top of the cold air intake was taken off most of the time, never left on. And I have early photographs and other supportive document photographs of the shit that was down inside the intake that was sucked up into the entire engine block because they didn't bother to fucking cover it. Yeah. The fluid down inside the radiator reservoir here was black. And you can see some black here, and I'm hoping that's not anything fucking new. I gotta tell you. I'm hoping it's not new. I did not replace this because it had overheated and it started to warp, and it is just sort of rocking loose in a hole because I'm $61,000 motherfucking dollars in debt right now, and the truck is still fucking broken, and me and the dog are still camping the fuck out, trying to get the fuck out of here and go the fuck home, and still broke down. So no, I didn't get another one of these. I'm just hoping this isn't new shit. I took baby bottle brushes and tried to clean it out and figure out what the fuck it was in shithole asshole Sean Turner's driveway. And that's when I found that this was oil backed up in here from the radiator. He had drove it until the radiator completely busted so fucking bad it put oil into the radiator fluid, and he should have been able to see it through the window, but he was too fucking retarded. Or he did see it. Like everything else they tried to cover up, and they already knew, that when you would start it up, it would go pam, 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 on the driver's side. So it was probably another cover-up. They did a lot of that, and they confessed. They confessed to doing this shit later on, after he threatened me with physical violence to leave his house. Yeah, in 100 and some degrees at midnight at night after I had been working on the truck, and I was just covered in filth and sweat, and I had been outside in filth and sweat all day long. He just wanted me out of there so that he could get the truck out of his driveway. They didn't want me there at all. They just wanted the truck out, and they didn't give a fuck about what they did to me, how they did it to me, the temperature in which they did it to me. It was good for them. I was in my 60s, and I wasn't a local. Because I ended up meeting local guys that told me, oh my God, I love that truck. I always loved that truck. I always wanted that truck. And I said, well, then you should have fucking bought it and owed $50,000. They're like, what? I said, the engine was fucking blown. And they had dumped it in the ocean. So you love that truck, you want that truck, you want the bills to go with it? And I told him, why didn't you buy it? And only one mechanic guy said it sounded funny when he started it up. Bam, 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 bam. All right. And the cold intake pipe that they had was actually falling off, not installed correctly. Probably by another one of their boob-ass motherfucking Texan friends. And then it split because of the heat. So I had to tear it off there and put this other redesigned one on, and then get this all redone. Fucking retard boy also didn't have the correct mass flow air sensor on the mass airflow. Not even close. And had started stripping some of the parts up on top for the fuel injection coil pack system. Some. He replaced some. All right, so back to Patriot GMC. They had charged right around $2,000, and they didn't replace the head gaskets. They didn't replace the spark plugs. And I forgot what else was on the documents, but I still have the documents. And I called them up on the phone one time, and I told them, I said, I hope to God you rot in fucking hell for the shit that you did in my fucking truck. And I still hope they rot in fucking hell. They sent me in circles and sent me in circles and sent me in circles and sent me in circles. And I said, how the fuck can you not put a spark plug into a hole? Anyhow, they couldn't. I had to pay more males. And that's how I started separating out Texas males from the boys from the men. Because there's a lot of fucking boys here, and they have no idea how to change a fucking spark plug on a goddamn motherfucking Chevy 8-cylinder block. I had to do most of them most of the time in my 60s at over 100 degrees. That's why you didn't see a lot of films from me. I was almost passed the fuck out. And I didn't have a shower and place to stay. I don't know anybody here. I don't have a friend here. Nothing. Just these pieces of shit Texas males. It's all I've had. The brake reservoir up there was completely fucking black. Completely. They had even ruined the brake master cylinder. That's why there was no brakes. Yeah. All right. He had even a guy on Facebook later on told me that he recognized the truck, and it had been taken out on tank trails behind Fort Hood. It's illegal to take any POV on a tank trail behind Fort Hood and play fucking little boy, little tiny penis games with it. But that's what they did. And I know for a fact, because up underneath there was stuff that was completely busted the fuck out. Completely smashed by large items. Huge rocks had smashed. This tire here is still about ready to fall the fuck off. I've been driving it now like that for almost 3 fucking years because I can't find anybody decent again and stand up and walk enough again. I'm still in this fucking heat. I still have fucking cancer and a heart problem. I'm still in my fucking 60s and broke the fuck down. It's about to fall the fuck off because of shit motherfucking damages they had done to the entire system, not just the rotor. I think maybe it's the rotor. Oh God, fucking piece of shit. I like to shove it up his ass. They had completely ruined the whole fucking front end, whole upper arms and lower arms. I've had some of the arms replaced already, and more arms have to be replaced and get that done with more front end parts again. The entire inside of the truck leaks. They didn't tell me about that. They had dumped it in the ocean. So It had rotted out the seals the whole way around the windshield, and they didn't bother to fucking get up off their lazy motherfucking ass, take 2 screws and pop the plastic off on the inside of the door, and just start filling in with rubber sealant. I've already done that. That kind of helped kept the front from being soaking wet all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Every fucking time you take it to a car washer, it would rain, but not totally. And water just poured down through the dash and would pour on the top of me while I was trying to drive. It was like taking a shower, and I never even had to get inside a shower stall. It still leaks. It still leaks down inside and fills completely up like a pond with water. And the carpet's now fucking soaked, and the whole back seat's gonna have to come out. I'm gonna have to find somebody somewhere to help me get the fucking back seat out of the fucking truck to pull the padding, because the padding is completely soaked. They had been completely soaking. Yeah. They had been completely soaking the inside of the truck for a really long period of time because they were too fucking lazy to use something called Google, take a screwdriver, take some sealant, and start getting it fixed. I'm still working on that. Part of the problem was the lights up on top, and a lot of males on YouTube talk about this, and they tell you, oh, I know how, I know why. You just put a little bit of sealant up there. Wrong answer. That is not what you do. That is wrong. It will continue to leak. And it will continue to leak and continue to leak and continue to leak. What Hummer did was they put these racks up here, and they shaped them and manufactured them to be like a house gutter, like alongside the roof of your house. Here's the problem with that. They did not buy house gutter insulation. I did. And they did not apply it. I did. Because debris and shit falls down inside the gutter, and then it clogs up inside the lights, and you can't get the water to come out of the lights, and so it fills up inside the truck. They've been doing it for a really long time. That part could have been part of them dumping in the ocean, but I'm not too sure about that. Okay, so how to alleviate part of this problem with the truck filling up with water is that there's a black trim up here, the sealant trim right in here, and I clipped it and cut it right where the lights were. It's missing. I took it out of there, so water can come down now out of the back and escape. I still need some more work, and I still need more parts. I still need more stuff. I can barely stand the fuck up, and I'm 64 years old now. I still have cancer. The truck is still broken. I can still barely drive the fucking truck. The dog and I are fucking roasting to death. And those fucking bastards, as far as I'm concerned, killed my last dog. So they owe me every fucking thing they have and they've ever had. Mechanics. So I met another piece of shit mechanic, a guy named John Hadley. He was close to my age, he'd been in the military, he was a veteran. Blam, 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 wham, 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 get out your fiddle, let's play. Big sob, long sob, sad story. He was supposed to be a Christian, thump your chest, big Christian, all kinds of shit. Fucked my shit up, morning, noon, and goddamn night. I am still repairing shit that he did, that I paid him to take care of. But John helped me pull the intake up off the top because we still couldn't get the truck to stop going bam, 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 bam. And by the time John and I got to that level, every fucking light that was smashed out in the whole entire truck, including top lights. The top lights were fucking smashed. The brake lights were smashed. I don't think I showed you my new brake lights. By the time me and John pulled that intake off, and we were both up on the block, I was on the passenger side, he was on the driver's side. He popped that fucking shell cover up off the top, and we looked down inside and went, oh my God. Because fucking pieces of shit that sold me this truck had busted the intake manifold gasket and we're playing games with it in the fucking ocean. So the whole entire inside of the engine, which I have pictures of and I have film, rocks and sand. I'll show you my new brake lights. I like them, but the sun here in Texas has ruined those too, so I have to get some more of those. I got nice pretty ones. But he had smashed out the other ones too, including the side marker ones. They were all smashed. I mean smashed. I've got pictures. So, by the way, I'm ex-military. I never treated anybody like this before in my entire fucking lifetime. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but I'm not a piece of shit from Texas. Yeah. I still have wiring problems. They didn't tell me that the truck had a hard time starting and didn't want to start after it would sit for a little while. My very first night in it, the lights came on alone by themselves. The switch here that's for the headlights and stuff like that, it just came on by itself. I've replaced this particular switch now 9 fucking times. 9 times. And it's still screwed up. It's still screwed up. In fact, it'll shut off the air conditioning heater console. I've replaced that too. In fact, I started stripping the dash with cancer in this fucking heat alone by myself and replacing components and modules to the whole entire fucking dash alone by myself. No more in these motherfucking screw bags. And I'm up to $61,000. I've been doing it alone by myself. And when it rained, it used to rain so goddamn bad that the rain would also pour in through the whole entire console piece here. And I've started replacing some of that too. Yeah, and it poured to the steering wheel, it poured to the, everything. Everything. And another one of the problems is this has got I forget what they call this now. There's a very specific name for the sunroof in this particular model because this is the extra large. This truck, the only true thing that fucking piece of shit Sean Turner told me was that this was the Lux Pack truck. Now, how he knew that, I don't know. Because he's dumber than a box of fucking rocks. And the only way you can tell is the original door handles are still on the truck. And there was like an accident. I went to order a part one time by accident. I think there was something on the VIN by accident. I looked up. Anyhow, dipshitted males that owned the truck before me, as I don't think it was all fuckface Sean Turner. There are a total of 1, 2, 3 each side drains for this particular window. This particular window, I forget what they call it. They call it the virtual view. It's like the moonroof virtual. It's a limo size window is what it is, for like a limousine. When I first got the truck, every single door handle was busted and falling off the truck. All of them. Every single one of them. None of them would stay on the truck. None of them would open the truck. None of them would close the truck. None of them. It took 5.5 fucking months to get the locks to lock and unlock. 5.5 months. Part of that problem is because fucking pieces of shit that had taken it to the ocean, they were using those great big oxygen tanks, and first they used to cram them in here. Well, they had scratched the shit out of the glove box so goddamn bad, I painted it. I couldn't get the scratches out of it, so I just fucking painted it. They decided that wasn't good enough anymore. That was doing a lot of interior damages. So they decided to go ahead and drag the oxygen bottles through the back of the truck. Oh, I got it covered up right now because I'm still wet on the inside of the truck from leaking massive amounts of water in the inside of the truck. I've been soaking wet inside the truck since I've had it. Every time it rains. Every single time. It used to be every car wash too. Pieces of shit, what they had done was they were putting the great big oxygen bottles and stuff in the back of the truck, and then they were yanking and pulling and dragging the big diving oxygen bottles out. And what they had done was completely busted the rear locking mechanism that goes right here. Or it's a U shape, I forget what it's called. And so they completely cracked it and busted it the fuck out. Okay, when they did that, that prevented the locks from locking and unlocking and the car alarm going off and all the bells and whistles and the starting and the whole fucking shit that's supposed to function. But it took us a while to figure that out. In fact, it took me until recently. And so in the meantime, we didn't know what was wrong, so we just kept replacing and replacing and replacing and replacing and tearing down and replacing and replacing and replacing and replacing and replacing. And it took 5.5 months for me to finally lock the truck safely and go to the goddamn grocery store, go pee, or sleep in it with my dog at night. Thank you so much, you fucking pieces of shit. I hope you rot in hell. All right, so because I got a funny feeling they still listen to my show. And I have not been able to find them and get them blocked from this show, but I think they do. And they felt the need to harass me at the park early in the morning when he went there for PT. Until finally a sergeant caught him one time and asked him what the hell they were doing down there near my truck, trying to throw gravel up on it with their cars, laughing and snickering and screaming at me inside my truck I bought and paid for, and I didn't stiff nobody on, and I didn't lie about, and I didn't cheat nobody. So, back to the thing on the hood. I want to talk about this because it's still kind of important with this whole bullshit up here. Not all this truck was damaged by this company. This truck evidently had a lot of work done to it later on. They did a specialty bumper on the back. It's like a $4,000 bumper. And they did what's called the hunter's rack up on top. The hunter's racks are usually around $6,000. I already know because I studied these for 3 years before I bought this one nationwide. And I tried to buy a truck nationwide wherever I could get one. So the specialty bumper back here was about $4,000. There's my beautiful lights. All right, so they had busted this rear glass window on the deck. I didn't get that fixed. There was rocks chipped all across the windshield. Brand new chips when I got it. Brand new. Yep, all across the windshield. I didn't replace that either. I didn't have time. The air conditioning didn't work right. It wasn't just because they didn't have antifreeze all the way up to the water pump and the blown engine. That wasn't the total issue. It was a whole lot of other issues. It was also leaking and had a bunch of other problems. They had the wrong stuff in it, not the right amount. The heater didn't work. It didn't work well. That's because of the fucking John Hadley for Christmas. Oh yeah, this is what I got for fucking Christmas a couple of years ago. While he was high on VA drugs and alcohol, he put Diebold grease on my fucking mass airflow sensor. Oh, fucking kid you not. So it went up to the whole entire intake system. It put the truck into low, I call low crawl. It wouldn't go past 20, 25 miles per hour, and it broke down on a fucking dirt road in the middle of fucking nowhere with a bunch of fucking drug addicts from Texas. Yeah, pieces of shit. It still has a wiring problem. The battery has to be started constantly and continuously. I can barely run the cell phone. I can barely shave. I suspect that the problem is that they drove it in the ocean. There was so much fucking water and sand inside the goddamn truck, and the tank damages that the fuse panel on the inside is rusty, and that might have to be replaced. And I was going to try to tackle that and do that myself, but I'm having a real hard time in the heat with my health. That's a fucking understatement. So is the dog. And we're still trying to stay wet the best we can. I had to get new tires. The tires were fucked. I had to get new shocks. The shocks were all busted the whole way around. There was a leak in the gas tank area, and the gas hose is up underneath. I know that they had a lot of ocean damages because the entire undercarriage of the truck was orange and rusted completely the fuck out. I had to take specialty chemicals in my age and my condition, and spray and scrub the shit out of it, and then high temp paint it, rubber seal coat it to get it on its fucking feet to keep it from rusting any further. And it cost me about $400 in supplies, and then I did the work. And I I still have some problems with it. When they drug the tanks back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, they ripped the whole entire seals out of the rear end of the truck. And you can't get these seals anymore. These seals are no longer obtainable. You cannot get these rear deck seals. So I had to find something else like a substitute and put that in, and I had to come up with more ideas to try to fill in. And I've invented and developed, I think, some pretty good stuff and make it look pretty good. Doesn't look too bad. And I did some finish work because the guys that did the bumper didn't even fucking put any kind of finish back in at all. Nothing. They just didn't put anything. So, I'm trying to think of what else is wrong. He had a humongous on a TV size fucking stereo. It was stupid as fuck. You couldn't plug anything into it and it didn't work right. I didn't want to get robbed, so I had it yanked the fuck out. And I got a smaller one put in there. I'm not here to be robbed, believe it or not. 61,000. I've gone from piece of shit asshole male mechanic to piece of shit, one right after the next, just over and over and over. That's all they do. They lie, they scam you, and take your money. I'm trying to think. I've got my receipt file. It looks like a Bible. It's, yeah, it probably is about 2 inches, 3 inches thick. I did try to fight with Navy Federal. They pulled shit on me also. And they tried to pull their law out of their ass that you're not allowed to ask for your money back if it's because of a car loan. I didn't get a fucking car loan. I paid this out of my pocket. Yeah. So, but they played illegal games and played, and I didn't get my money back. I tried to get an attorney. I couldn't get an attorney. They were too busy, quote unquote, helping Mexican mothers with their children from across the border. That's what they told me. And I'm a senior disabled veteran, broke down and stuck in Texas. What else did or didn't get done? I've replaced all the rubber around the engine block compartment box itself also too, because it was destroyed. I've redone the on one of my videos you already saw, I already did the cowl and sealed that all up nice and neat, so it shouldn't be leaking down through the dash any longer. The radiator's not leaking anymore. The coil pack's been done, the fuel injectors have been done, all that stuff, and this is a brand new block. It cost me $35,000 to get the truck inspected and get it to pass legally. The truck was not passed legally. And the inspection shop that I took it to even told me that they don't know how they could have passed it, because the inspection was not even done by an owner that was supposed to be on the truck at the time. It was done by some other weird off the wall, some Mexican guy that never owned the truck at the time. Yeah. And so I don't know how fuckface even got it to pass the Fort Hood testing. I have no idea. I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know how he did it, because I don't know how he illegally got the state one done. It cost me $35,000 to get it done. $35,000. And we weren't buying the best of the best. I bought Walmart shit. I just got bare bones, bare minimum stuff, cheap stuff. I ordered it myself. A lot of the work I did myself. But you know, labor's not free, and it's not cheap. I had to get towed. Front end alignments over and over. I had to get the battery. I don't know how many batteries I've been through now, 4, 5, or 6. I don't know. They go about every 6 months, and you can't even get them to fucking take a fucking jump. Yeah. So, and then what? And then I'm trying to figure if I missed anything. I'm trying to figure out what fuck I missed. You know, not much. I'm telling you. And then I had to meet some fucking piece of shit, Brett Hamilton, that caught it the fuck on fire. Oh! Was almost the fuck out of here and able to get home with my last dog that was still alive. But no, smart ass was doing some kind of drugs because he dropped his piece of drug aluminum foil. I found it. I kept it for a long time. Showed a lot of people. And his cigarettes. And he caught the whole passenger side on fire. He caught it on fire so bad it melted the shit out of the reservoir and melted my brand new motherfucking expensive $200 a piece high performance coils that go with this engine. So then I had to get the whole entire engine block pulled. So we pulled the whole entire engine block at another shithole called Rick's. Big Rick's on Veteran Memorial. They didn't put the engine in right. They didn't even hook up the transmission cables underneath. I didn't know until I went to Odessa, Texas. Had to get some help in a fucking parking lot and come the fuck back. Yes. Oh, shout out and thank you to, in case you are watching, by any chance, you know the guys at the VFW in Odessa, Texas. Thanks, guys. I was able to get the fuck out of that parking lot because of you. They also they smashed and tore up the headlights and ripped them. Smashed and tore up and ripped the fuse box for some reason. Blew the front lights here. I had to replace those again. There was nothing wrong with any of that. And if you've watched my channel, and you see, as things went along, you know there wasn't by the time I went to big fucking Rick Dicks. And they put the engine in crooked, so they can't hardly ever check the oil. It doesn't work right. I had to go to a special speed shop. They have specials. I used to race cars for a living, used to fucking build it, race car engines. I'm not some stupid ass piece of shit with a set of tits. And build a special, what's called a coil dipstick, and get a high performance coil dipstick to go down inside to check the oil. And we still could barely move it. It was so froze up. And when I start the truck now, it still goes bam, 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 because they didn't do something right on the passenger side. And way down in there, I don't know if you can see with me holding it here now, but they've got a bolt that's sticking the fuck out. They didn't even completely fucking install it to the exhaust manifold. They didn't even put it in. I kid you not, it's right there. So, and I didn't back it out of the hole. Big Rick's. They even wrote a confession. They wrote a piece of paper, and after they did all this, they told me with my brand new $6,000 engine, I'd have to go back in because there was something wrong with the rear main seal, and that'll be another $1,500. I think that's when I started yelling at people. I said, I told you I have cancer, and I need to go home. And rear main seal is part of the install. You don't go back later and tear it up again. You do it while you're there so people can go home. Yeah, and they said there was something else. I forget what it was. It's on the paper. I still have it. So they did a shit job. They didn't give a flying fuck. I think they were jealous of small penises. That's what I think. Pieces of shit. They didn't even put the hood on tight. They left it loose, and it fell on my fucking breasts. Twice. And it's on camera. It fell on me the first time at O'Reilly's on Veteran Memorial Boulevard on camera, and then it fell on me a second time right in front of them outside in their own shop. The hood fell. It was only held up by one coil on one side, and the other side was on me. It was on my chest. You can see where this is, and it's at the level of my chest. I'm here somewhere. What else? So that was just to have the engine block pulled and put in, and the rental car, $12,000. It has to come out again. So I got another $6,000 engine. Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Well, I've been broke down and stuck here. Someone stole my other truck that I'm still paying on in Colorado. And I'm still paying rent there for the stuff that's in my fucking home. Well, what did you think? I have a free place to put everything I've had for 60 some years? Or you think I'm a piece of shit, I just fell out of the sky with nothing. I just spent 60 years with no shirts, no furniture, no other cars, no nothing. No. So my money's all, I'm just living off my credit cards and all my money, and the truck was stolen with all my stuff, all of it. Everything I needed. Everything I couldn't take with me on a fucking bus filled with illegal Mexican males. And that truck is still missing. It's a yellow Nissan Xterra. And it was fucking beautiful. Just like I did to this one. Beautiful. You could eat off of it. And it's on my early videos, guys. Look at them on this channel. Look at my other videos. You'll see it there. Yeah. Yeah, unless YouTube fucking eats all my film, it's there. It's all there. Anyhow, the engine has to come out again. I found another shop. They said they knew what they were doing. They said they had a mechanic. Blah, 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 blah. They're in another town, close to shithole Fort Hood, Texas. They've never put the engine in since it's been dropped off. Never spoken to me again since. I will repeat. I took another $6,000 replacement engine to another shop near Fort Hood, Texas, and they've never spoken to me since. So I don't know if they still have it. It was another $6,000. I have pictures to prove it. Brand new, in a box. The reason why the back end of my truck is filled up with fucking shit, because there's fucking shit in the back of the fucking truck for that engine too. Oh, because Big Rick's, guess what else they did? They left the original oil cooler on the fucking truck and ran all the filthy oil through the brand new engine. The oil cooler is still in the back of the goddamn truck. And the instructions came with the crate. It's right on top. I have a picture to prove it. I'd still like to have a lawyer sue the holy living shit out of Navy, sue the holy living shit out of Big Rick's, sue the holy living shit out of fucking Turner's for life. So I don't know what my next videos are going to be like, and I don't know what's happened to the other $6,000 engine. But I needed to catch you up with what was going on. This is the only time I've had I could actually stand up and do another video. And hopefully this one's going to air on YouTube, because a lot of people are starting to talk to me a lot now and ask a lot of questions. And I need all this information out because I need a lawyer. Even though I'm not Mexican enough with you, with children coming across the border. I'm not some poor Mexican. I'm a senior disabled veteran that is still broke down here and $61,000 in debt now. Guys, don't forget to click and subscribe. Look at my other channel on eBay. I have things for sale to try to help me pay the goddamn bills. That's called Tequila Sun Trading. All one word, 2 T's. And as many followers I can get on this as possible is certainly helpful. My dog is up for stud services. He's papered. He's rare. He is a speckled merle. He might be the only speckled merle in the whole entire state of Texas and several other states. I know that he's the only one I've seen on all of Facebook. Has his own Facebook page. He's up for stud also. He's young. He's had nothing but nutrition, clean water, healthy stuff. Not a bunch of freaking chemicals. That's about it. I gotta go.